Greetings everyone. During this past semester, I incorporated ePortfolio into my business law course, BTM 110. Business law is a course that explores many different areas of the law, such as torts, contracts, constitutional law, criminal law, and intellectual property. Throughout the semester, I used ePortfolio to collect assignments, to allow students to reflect on their work, and to incorporate LaGuardia's core competencies into my classroom. One of the first things I had students do with their ePortfolios was to make sure that I had access to these portfolios, and to have students either create a business law introductory page or a BTM 110 section in their course projects page. Most students chose to create a space for BTM 110 in their course projects page. I chose to do this as opposed to having students create entire portfolios because many of my students already had ePortfolios that had been created in previously taken business law courses. In previously taken business courses. One of the first assignments that I had students prepare and post to their ePortfolios was an assignment that asked them to discuss their views of the American criminal justice system. They were asked to research the case of James Calvin Tillman, an individual who spent 17 years in prison and was ultimately exonerated after spending those 17 years through the use of DNA evidence. In the assignment, students were provided with an article on James Tillman, as well as links to several Innocence Project website pages. These websites contain information in the forms of graphs, percentages of the individuals that are currently either on death row or serving life sentences. And they were asked to incorporate this information into their assignment. This assignment attempted to address three of LaGuardia's core competencies, which are quantitative reasoning, critical thinking, and research and information. My students posted these assignments to their ePortfolios, and my initial thought was to grade them, correct them, and to comment on them using the ePortfolio comment feature. However, I found myself needing to print these papers because I learned that I actually find it easier and prefer to grade papers by hand and not off of a computer screen. After all the students had posted their papers, I waited about 2.5 weeks. I then asked students to revisit and reflect upon their papers, and while they were doing so, to search the web and select 2 images that they felt represented their view of the criminal justice system as they expressed in their papers. The students were also asked to discuss and explain why they chose these images in a brief essay, which they then posted to their ePortfolio beneath the images that they had selected. In another assignment where I used ePortfolio, I asked students to prepare an oral presentation which they performed and recorded using their own recording equipment, and then they uploaded this presentation into their ePortfolio. This was a 3-minute oral presentation, and the topic was either focused on contract law or a legal topic which they selected from the FindLaw.com website. I also provided students with a rubric I would use to grade them with, so that they would know what I would be looking for in their presentation. With this assignment, I attempted to incorporate LaGuardia's oral communication competency into my classroom. This assignment seemed like a great idea to me at first. However, I ran into some difficulty with students uploading their presentations due to varying file sizes and formats. I believe that all of this could have been avoided, however, with better planning on my part and the use of a few STMs, so I do not anticipate running into the same problems in future semesters. After all the presentations had been posted, I asked my students to grade and review their own presentations using the rubric I had provided them with. I also asked them to provide me with detailed explanations regarding how they arrived at their grade, and they were to post these explanations to their ePortfolio. The final assignment where I used ePortfolio was an end of semester reflection, where I asked students to look back at the semester, at the course content, and at their use of ePortfolio. I hope this was helpful and informative. Thank you all very much for your time, and enjoy your summer.